it doesn't cohere into a nice, neat package like this, but let's just call it honor shame studies or honor shame conversations,
Okay.
has often been thought, particularly by modern English speaking, and we can add German and French in there too, I suspect, um, culture
Hmm.
as backward, as something that is the property of these other cultures, these other peoples. I argue really that's an unfortunate kind of type of modern, to borrow Edward Said's idea of orientalizing, because it typically
Mm,
goes with Oriental or Mid-Eastern cultures.
yeah.
It has been rare that any person has thought of honor shame cultures as something that happens in Africa or Latin and South America, even though you know yourself, being someone who's had ex- plenty of experience in South America, but also connection with African scholars and Christians, that those same dynamics are a part of those places as well. Um, and one of the major, if you would call it what, uh, jobs or goals that I have for my own scholarship in writing currently is to help deconstruct
Hmm.
the ways that we caricature or we configure with those kinds of schema, honor shame cultures, and we typically up, have an opposition culture, which we might call guilt innocence or guilt justice, where ostensibly we don't do that. We're not interested in honor, and we sure don't do that shame stuff.
Hmm.
There we might think of, here in the North American context, we might think of pistols at 20 steps,
Hmm.
or the dunce cap, which was outlawed in the early 20th century, though still persisted, it turns out, for a little bit of time afterwards. Um, so, and all kinds of complex ways that society engaged in shaming. And I want to say, though we don't have enough time really to unpack it sufficiently here, that that's a myth.
Hmm.
And a myth in the sense of not the positive social scientific sense of myth, but a myth in the sense of a falsehood.
Hmm.
Um, that when you really explore cultures, and that includes, I am living here in West Texas and at the end of the year 2023, and my work at the university and my life in Abilene, Texas, has honor and shame dynamics at almost every level of my experience, as does certainly the place where I lived and worked for many years in Thailand. The difference is, of course, the way that the activities and even the standards, the things to which people attach those honor, shame, face commitments,
Hmm.
those things can differ, and they can differ considerably from culture to culture to culture.